journey to face the unknown and ponder the question, what if?
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel dropped another brand new teaser for What If Season 3. The showrunner, the writers have been talking about the new episodes, the characters, dropping more footage, and some metaphorically and big literal characters coming back, like the Eternals and the Celestials, so we'll break it all down. And I know a lot of people asking about the X-Men characters, so they did explain what's happening with the X-Men. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. It does sound like they're going to try and release the What If episodes way sooner than we thought, but they haven't announced an official release date yet. The next big Marvel thing will actually be the X-Men 97 episodes. I'll be doing full episode videos for that. That'll all release before Deadpool 3 comes out. Deadpool 3 is like the only traditional MCU movie that's coming out this year that just happens to feature a lot of X-Men related stuff. We're supposed to get that first official Deadpool 3 trailer at the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. But just starting with the literal biggest stuff first, they're finally doing more mutants, starting with Namor. They didn't say what his episode is going to be, only that Tenoch Huerta is coming back as Namor to do the voice of the character in his episodes. Usually when they bring the movie actors back to play their characters, they're in a couple different episodes. Namor is one of the few canonical mutants in the MCU right now next to Ms. Marvel. There are probably others that Kevin Feige just hasn't revealed yet, mostly waiting on Deadpool 3 to do that version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, bring back all the legacy Fox Marvel actors for X-Men stuff, Fantastic Four actors. They'll have their own version of Spider-Man No Way Home, like X-Men No Way Home, is a sort of big swan song honoring all the old Fox X-Men movies, Fantastic Four movies, before they recast all the actors and reboot it all inside the MCU. The What If showrunners also said that's the main reason why they haven't done any core X-Men episodes, because you think they would have gone wild with all the X-Men powers, like it just plays for really cool episodes. Apparently, they're under strict orders by Kevin Feige to not use the core X-Men characters until they debut in the new live-action MCU X-Men movie that they announced a while ago. That one's meant to be the big reboot of most of the characters. They said some of the X-Men won't be featured during that first new one, like they're waiting longer to introduce the new MCU Wolverine with a new actor because Hugh Jackman has a contract to stay through Avengers Secret Wars whenever that winds up happening. And because all the delays with Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, all that stuff, it looks like Kevin Feige might be releasing the new X-Men movie, the new live-action X-Men movie, before Secret Wars now. They've been having all kinds of problems with Avengers 5. I've already done separate videos about that, but it sounds like they might actually be turning Avengers 5 into like Secret Wars Part 1 and just making a multi-part Secret Wars movie and just using different titles. They're supposed to be setting that all up during Deadpool 3, so I'll talk more about that in my Deadpool 3 videos. But X-Men 97 episodes are meant to be set in another universe. That's why they have no issue in doing multiple new seasons of that before the new live-action X-Men movie, so there will be a lot of X-Men related stuff happening in the next couple of years. Sounds like Namor is about as close as we're getting to X-Men on What If Season 3 at least. But the next big characters coming back are the Eternals and the Celestials, like literally big characters. They're finally doing more with them. There's so many hanging plot threads that they set up in the Eternals movie, announcements about sequel movies, them paying off the dead Celestial in the Indian Ocean during Captain America 4. It's taken forever for them to address that stuff. And as you would probably expect, the What If Season 3 episodes probably will not address that either, mostly because it's meant to be set in a completely alternate timeline, alternate universe, where things go down differently. That's the whole premise of the What If series, like what if things happen differently? Druig is the first Eternal that they've confirmed is coming back. I don't think they're going to bring all the Eternals back just because there were so many of them. It would destroy the budget of the show if they featured all of them, and scheduling would be a nightmare. But I think the episode will play on the idea of the emergence, but it'll be set during a different part of the timeline because they won't have every single character back. Like there'll be some other threat that involves the emergence in the Celestials, but it might just be set earlier in the timeline, like the same way we saw the 1980s Avengers episodes during Season 2. And the main villain of Season 3 is supposed to be Aran, an evil member of the Watcher's race and Uatu's nephew. He's actually a member of Uatu's immediate family. We learn more about the Watcher's race just in general during Season 3 as well. We saw the Watcher's race during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so like there are multiple Watchers inside the MCU, but during the What If series, Uatu is the only Watcher they've ever featured or referenced. For those of you that are like, wait a minute, this raises all kinds of other questions too, like can Watchers actually have children? And the answer is yes, they do breed biologically. They're just a highly advanced race that lives on a higher dimension. You can thank the Marvel comic book writers for that. Like, wait a minute, why would higher dimension level beings breed like normal humans? Wouldn't they have some more advanced way of propagating their race? Nope, turns out they like to do it the old-fashioned way. Orion is a Marvel comic book character. He debuted in the original Captain Marvel comics back in 1975, but he mostly messed with the Fantastic Four characters appearing again later in their comics. Uatu, the main Watcher, has always mostly been a Fantastic Four-based character, so that makes sense, like they mostly appear in Fantastic Four stories. My assumption in the context of Season 3, Uatu will be forced to confront his own family, Orion, trying to stop him from meddling in the affairs of the main dimension, the same way that he tried to avoid meddling in affairs during What If Season 2, even though Supreme Strange was going crazy during Season 2 with the multiverse, doing a little mini version of Secret Wars. For those of you that did not watch the Season 2 finale, this is kind of what Secret Wars is going to look like. Uatu fighting other Watchers, fighting Orion, his nephew, is also right out of the comics too. I don't know if we'll see another live-action version of Uatu during the new Fantastic Four movie. We've already seen live-action Watchers, like I said, during Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so they're already canonized to the MCU. Jeffrey Wright also did a brief blink-and-you-miss-it cameo as live-action Uatu during the I Am Groot Season 2 episodes, so technically he has already appeared inside the MCU.
Can he see me? No, I'm a fifth-dimensional being. No. Sorry, he's just putting on a little show.
The other brand new footage and scenes that they released teasers for include Sam Wilson's Captain America in his current new suit. He's going to get another new one during Captain America 4. We actually just got to look at that. It looks a little bit more like Steve Rogers' suit crossed with his new Falcon suit. But this one in What If Season 3 is just based on the white one that he got during Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's with Monica Rambeau, that's Bucky behind them if you couldn't tell. And notice behind them there's a S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, so whichever universe this particular episode takes place in, S.H.I.E.L.D. still exists in present day. Notice that both Captain America and Monica Rambeau have their own Gundams. These mechs are meant to be references to Gundams. Marvel's flirted briefly with anime-inspired crossovers in Avengers stories told in the manga format, like stories are geared towards manga audiences, characters are drawn and animated in similar styles, but it's still a pretty rare thing. It's just Marvel experimenting with doing anime based on Marvel stuff. This is just an example of things working in reverse, which is usually how things go. Like, there are a lot of Western cartoons that are inspired by anime. Best example of that is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which technically is not anime, it's like anime inspired. But there's always a lot of confusion about that. Like, what's the difference between anime and things that are anime inspired? Technically, to be called anime, it has to be produced inside Japan by Japanese studios. Probably one of the most famous, one of the biggest examples of anime-inspiring moments inside Marvel movies, inside the MCU, is actually the Killmonger character. Michael B. Jordan is a longtime anime fan in real life, particularly of Dragon Ball. So notice the Killmonger suit was designed to look just like Vegeta's suit because Killmonger is basically the Vegeta of the MCU. And even though now in present day it's a little awkward because of the circumstances surrounding Jonathan Majors, a while ago when the last Creed movie came out, he talked about doing all of his fight scenes based on famous anime fights.
Break it down. Break it down.
Without nerding out too much, you've seen so many fights throughout the Rocky and Creed franchise, and I really wanted to put my spin on it, how to make these fights different. And, from Hajime no Ippo to Maglobox to Naruto to My Hero Academia, all those different, anime that I've watched growing up, there's an inherent spirit to them and how they fight, and their bonds and their relationships and all that good stuff. But it's very similar to the brotherhood and bond that we have and his relationship to his family as well. So I tried to key in on some of those key moments. And yeah, they're in there. They're in a lot of the fights.
Yeah, is there one specific moment we can give us to look out for from a specific anime?
I would say from the Dragon Ball universe, Dragon Ball Z universe, there's a punch, me and Damien's fight, where there's a Dragon Ball Z punch that's in there.
Even though it's a little strange watching that because of what happened with Jonathan Majors the last couple of months, there's still a solid list of anime there to check out if you haven't seen those original fights that those are based on. There are a couple other brand new scenes from Season 3 too. This is Bill Foster's Goliath holding tiny Red Guardian and another shot of Bucky and Red Guardian. I think those two scenes are probably from the same episode, and they might be from the Red Guardian Winter Soldier team-up episode that they released earlier this year.
It's jammed. You know what Karl Marx said about machines? They make men lazy. Stop! It's over! Surrender yourself.
I've already done a longer video about all the Easter eggs during that, but that episode is basically what if Red Guardian joined the Avengers earlier in the timeline before Captain America came out of the ice. So it's kind of like what if Red Guardian pulled a Black Widow and broke from the Russians in the Red Room earlier in the timeline, defecting to the United States. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I'll try to do videos for everything as quickly as possible. We just got some more news about the Blade movie with some cool connections to Kit Harington's Black Knight character, so I'll try to do a video for that next. Big reminder, a whole bunch of Deadpool 3 stuff coming soon. Click here for that brand new teaser trailer, and click here for that other longer What If Season 3 trailer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.